Welcome to Gal on the Prowl, the podcast where we ditch the doubts, chase our dreams, and live life with serious clawsome energy. If you've lost your spark or just need a boost, consider this your sign to get back up and pounce on your potential. I'm Jessica Spawn, and I hope this makes you smile. Let's prowl. Meow. Welcome to Gal on the Prowl. I'm your host, Jessica Spawn, and I'm so excited today. I have an amazing guest, and I can't wait to share. Oh my goodness, because she is new to the Dallas scene. So there's a lot to talk about. She's taken a pretty amazing position, amazing role in the community. Already world traveling, representing Dallas. And I'll just go ahead and introduce you. So it's Katie Schuck. Is that how you say your last name?
It's Shook, like I shook your hand,
Shook.
but I will never correct
Not like
anybody.
Shuck a thing.
Plenty of people think I'm Shuck Corn or, Shuck an Oyster.
Before the show, and then I got distracted.
It's okay.
And then I was like, Katie, do I say her last name? Just keep going.
I love that you kept going. No, it's Shook, like I shook your hands,
Okay,
but
Katie Schuck.
I will never correct anyone because at
I love
this
that.
point in
She's
time,
too nice. I love it though.
tomato, tomato.
I love it. Shook Shuck. I am happy with that. So, oh my goodness. So first of all, she's the new Dallas film commissioner and fresh from Savannah. Is that where you came from?
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of backstory that got you to where you're at now.
Yes.
We're going to go in a couple different directions here
it.
because I have a lot of questions and I have other questions that people have as well. But what is the film commissioner? Like, what the heck is that? It sounds like a Batman like movie character kind of or something.
Yeah, the commish.
Something. I don't know. But like, I didn't know it was a thing until I knew it was a thing. And I don't know if everybody knows it's a thing.
So, so film commissioners exist internationally.
Okay.
So there's about 41 states that have established film commissions, and then there's regional commissions underneath of those.
Okay.
There's about 160 worldwide.
Okay.
And film commissions really operate as a one-stop shop for filmmaking for that region.
Okay.
So what that looks like is it could fall under a governor's office, office of economic development. It could fall under tourism. It could be at a municipal level under like a special events office or arts and culture office. And basically what we are ambassadors for film productions that come into any given region or municipality. And we kind of are a resource of resources is how I like to phrase it. We're a one-stop shop. So a production might come in and be like, we need to hire local crew and I need some local vendors and hey, we have all this creative needs for locations. Where should we go? And we kind of provide them with like a pre-vetted film friendly kind of ecosystem in which they can work.
Okay.
And so we're just kind of really holding their hands through the whole process and really trying to increase outside investment to our areas.
Well, okay. On that note, we'll just detour a little bit. With the SB 22 that it passed the House and the Senate, right?
Yes, it did.
It's officially kicking off September 1st.
Yes.
Do you want to explain more about that?
Sure. So currently, as of this taping, we are waiting for the governor to sign the bill. It passed with overwhelming bipartisan
We need
support.
his Greg Abbott.
Right. So his official signature will go on that. He has 20 days to do that.
Okay.
So we are basically just waiting for that, and that becomes the official thing where I'm sure the pen will become a special memento for somebody.
I love it.
And we are basically the administrative code around what this will look like is going to be formulated between now and September 1.
Okay.
So September 1 is really where it will be enacted, and it's the start of the program.
Okay.
So the state office has a lot of work ahead of them to try to figure out what it's going to look like in its new iteration in a few months. And in my professional opinion from being around this my entire career, it's probably going to take them a little while to really ramp it up. So my expectation is that we're really going to see and understand. No, probably just January.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll probably just take till about the beginning of next year in 2026 to really have a
human
good
fiscal
feel.
Year.
Yes,
Versus
human fiscal, not the government one or the tourism one. Right. So we'll really have, I think, a more a positive understanding of how it's going to look and how it's going to be shaped and and what the pipeline will look like for that. I mean, just like anything, it takes a little while. There'll be a few kinks, and some things to massage through. But the state office is incredible, and they have such a fantastic team that it'll probably be very quick that we see what that looks like.
I'm excited because if it goes through, it's 1.5 billion over the next 10 years.
10 years. So it was 1.5 billion, basically allocated for that 10-year sunset. So every biennium, which is every 2 years, we get
to make it confusing.
I know. Well, we get sessions every 2.
That's fair.
So that's what
we're learning new words today.
It's very government.
It's 2 years. Yeah.
Correct. So we were hoping for a little bit more, but we ended up with 300 million every 2 years to get up to that 1.5 billion pot.
That's exciting.
Over that amount of time.
That'd be huge for Texas.
It's great. It's wonderful. We're all very excited.
Yeah, we've been, well, we as in Texas, there's been a lot of production outside of here you're from Savannah, so
Georgia's booming.
What's their incentive package like? Do you know?
So the state of Georgia has a very generous 30% transferable tax credit. We can't do a transferable tax credit because we don't have state income tax here. So this is why they maintained the cash grant program, which honestly I think is a better program. Cash is king always. Yeah. It's really enticing. It doesn't have the same kind of wait periods that tax credits have. Yeah. So that's something that's really exciting, I think, for producers when they're trying to figure out their funding. Right.
Having it.
Right. Having it. So there are some big players in the tax credit world or incentive world. Georgia's one of them. New York is one of them. New Jersey is right on their heels with a pretty amazing incentive program that they just launched. New Mexico's is pretty generous. Nice. Louisiana actually has some really competitive ones because they're trying to compete with Atlanta all the time.
So they're just trying to get back in the game.
Absolutely. We're bringing us up to speed of where we should have been, I think. And because our industry is now completely dependent on these incentives. Every country in the world that we're seeing massive amounts of production happening, and the benefit of all that economic spend is basically in countries that have national incentives. The UK is at 40%. Ireland just up there to 40. I think Budapest Hungary is at 40. There's a lot of really competitive ones. And then you're also working with labor, workforces in places that are way below scale. And you're also the exchange rate on stuff. Canada's booming because the Canadian dollar is less than the American dollar. So American investors are getting more bang for their buck by going to Canada. So
that's an interesting side of film I think people don't necessarily consider.
It shows
when they watch the business side.
Absolutely.
Which I don't think there's enough training on. That's just a whole nother
I could write a dissertation about that. We could talk about that.
Like I have a degree in film, but all I know how to do, and it's good and it's great. I know how to make them.
Yes.
I've found out ways to get sponsors or to creatively finance things.
Yes.
Whatever. But like my brain, I have no training.
Yeah. Making a movie is easy. The actual production part, it's easy-ish, but it really doesn't take that much to make a movie. The financing and the funding part of it is one of the hardest parts, and the distribution is the hardest part. Who's going to actually see your movie when it's done? But the middle part, honestly, you get enough creatives in a room, easy to make.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of that in Texas. A lot of independent filmmaking.
Yes.
Should we mention one of the films that you mentioned recently?
Sure.
The one from 2004. We were talking about this before the show, and I wanted to mention it because it's kind of an indie film, right? I mean, this one guy had it was like a passion project, sci-fi, time travel, something like that. He shot it in Dallas area, looked like Texas, Dallas.
Yeah, he was actually, I think he was somewhere in the Metroplex, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it said the spend was $7,000.
$7,000.
And he grossed worldwide was $545.
Yeah, I think he pulled like $500,000 out of a very small indie project that he made. I was in film school when it came out. This is Primer, and I was a big fan of it in film school because I loved genre movies and time travel movies, and that was something that spoke to me at the time as a young emerging filmmaker and artist. And again,
I'm surprised it wasn't the apocalypse. Did you miss that era? Was I in there?
No, I mean, who doesn't love a good dystopian apocalypse?
I feel like that's the thing when you're in college, though.
Well, so Kill Bill was really big when I was in college. It was a lot. I was also watching a lot of European films when a lot of my film school counterparts were watching mainstream blockbusters.
That's very good for you, though, because look, you're in the industry. You're working in the industry.
I'm working in a global market.
Yeah.
So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Who knew? You didn't know that?
And one of the things when I talk to students all the time, I'm like, you have to be referential and have some reverence to the IP that came before you. Yeah. Because a lot of tropes and a lot of cliche come out of the repetition of these themes that have been done again and again and again, and they don't even know what they're repeating. And I'm like, no, you have to know not only source material for stuff, but like honor, the people that came before
you. Like a nod, kind of.
Yeah. And I talked to all these film school grads today who just like haven't seen anything because they're all watching short form.
Oh,
which
interesting.
That's the model now for the young people.
Are you serious?
It's short.
I mean, YouTube is booming.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And they're watching things in bite-sized pieces.
Okay.
So they'll even
like
watch
serials, kind of?
Not even the micro shorts. They're doing like or the microfilms. They're doing like, but they will watch like Legally Blonde in these like 1-minute clips throughout on TikTok that somebody has just clipped up for them in bite-sized pieces. Which is, to me, I'm like, wild. I'm like, just sit down on the couch and watch the movie.
Well, but it's the same problem, I think, with people who, you don't want to watch a 5-hour film, but you'll watch a limited series, 8-episode, 45-minute episode. You'll binge the whole thing. And I don't know if it's maybe because, and here's my suspicion is, with a film you have like the climax and then you have the ending. So like if you have a bunch of like beginning, middle, end, like 8 times over,
right?
You get more gratification out of that, like subconsciously.
I don't know, because like even when you watch a lot of episodic stuff, I feel like that
it's kind of missing.
There isn't, there isn't a lot of ebb and flow for a lot of stuff. Sometimes the good series end on cliffhangers, but some of them tease out things so long that you're just like, nothing happened this episode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wish we would go back. I was just at the Austin TV Fest, and a lot of people were talking about how they wish that there was longer orders for these series, because everything is like an 8, like maybe we're lucky with a 10.
Again, kind of that sort of thing?
Like 40.
Okay.
Like there were some runs of shows that were literally into like, it was way over 20 for a season. And now no one's doing over a 10. It's crazy.
They don't have to. But also,
they don't have to, but it's also because like our attention spans are so short,
Hold on, then wait. Yeah. You said you love time travel. If you could time travel, where have you not had this question yet? I feel like
no one's asking that.
Always have.
No, me and my husband love it.
I want to know where you guys would go.
Yeah.
And would you've got a child who's 3.5.
So he does not watch the same. Bowden, he does not watch the same content that we watch.
Okay, that's fair.
I have disturbed viewing habits, and that's how I say it, because the darker the better, the more like
pretty.
If it's scary, yes. If there's a demon involved, if there's a portal to hell,
the house is haunted.
Yes,
like house is alive.
Absolutely, give me zombies, give me monsters.
But would you live in one of those? Would you live in a house that's alive?
Well, I did live in Savannah, Georgia, so it is one of the most haunted cities in America, and I never saw a ghost, and I'm a little bitter about that.
I would be too. It's like,
I would love to see.
Do they not want to meet you or something? That's kind of rude. I'd be insulted.
As much as I want for this to exist,
you also don't.
I just don't think it does, and I think that's why I enjoy watching it so much, because it's so, to me, it's
paranormal.
It's play pretend.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not real.
It doesn't want to pretend.
Nothing's real.
Okay, wait. Yeah. No. If you traveled in time, what era would you go to? And would you take your family or just go by yourself? You don't have to take your family in this situation. I'm sure you love them, but would they do well with you?
I mean, I think it's also like the question of like, so have you gone down like the Egypt rabbit hole yet?
No.
All right. Okay, we're going to talk about it a little bit. And guess what? Your phone is going to start algorithming this to you.
Yeah, it's listening.
Okay, so this is my Roman Empire, okay? Where when you start getting your Instagram feed and whatever starts talking to you about all of the weird stuff with ancient Egypt and how it's so much older than we think, and that ancient civilizations are so much older.
Yeah.
And then you start going down this weird rabbit hole of stuff and about like how the pyramids were most likely like chemical plants.
Okay.
And they had incredibly well developed technology that our scientists for some reason are just like, no, that's not, it just didn't fit their narrative at the time, and they just won't address it. And there's like all of these new research that comes out, and they're doing LiDAR scans into the ground and all this kind of stuff. So like part of me is like, I just want to go back like to actually see what like what it was because they keep finding deeper and deeper and deeper temples that the ground is just.
So it's like the Mummy, but.
Yes, but like
not.
even yes, I wish my life was the Mummy. Are you kidding? But it was it's just like it's so interesting, just like on a historical thing, and I'm like
literally
curious. They had gas lamps like all around like ancient Egypt, where you see like they're not torch marks on anything, but they had to light all of this stuff. There's like all of these. Oh, I got like put a tinfoil hat on me because I start getting into this. I'm not in Ancient Aliens level, but like there's things that are like so you're not, interesting.
You might get there,
but like mathematically, how they were building stuff and doing stuff doesn't make sense for where they were, and why can't we recreate it? And it poses just do the rabbit hole. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Well, like cats, and I know there were cats around back then, so I'm convinced
they worshipped cats.
There's surely there's a version of that cat hole I'll go down at some point.
But at the same time, you're like, do you really want to go back to some place that doesn't have like penicillin?
No. But I don't know. Some people like romanticize the like Paris during a certain era, or like the Roaring '20s. I don't know. There's like these. I don't know. Would you time travel, or would you? I'd probably just.
Can we go forward?
I know, right?
Can we just skip to the good part?
I hear what you're saying, because so I just want to mention, and I didn't ask you in advance about AI if you wanted to touch on that at all, because I don't know what is happening or what's being discussed in the world of film and media regarding AI, like aside from the fears, but like what.
I talk about AI all the time.
Okay, good. So I'm also very curious, because as a content person, it's super important. And I'm not missing this chance, okay? Because I was in college in 1999. 99, okay? So I did the HTML web page from scratch.
Yes. You had to hack your MySpace page somehow.
Back and watch the internet happen. And I'm not doing that with AI because there's an opportunity, and I don't know what it is yet, but a lot of stuff's coming at us, and I don't know what to do with half of it. But what are they saying in the world of media? Yeah.
So, well, it depends on who you talk to.
Okay. Because then some people are scared it'll take their job.
Right.
Some people are like, it's an opportunity, and there's so many.
Yeah. So my husband works in the VisFX industry.
Okay.
He's only ever been in post, so he was an editor before that. So most of our friend circle is a lot of
editors,
post artists.
Okay,
yeah. So they're either editing, or they're VisFX artists, or they're compositors, or they're doing modeling or 3D animation, or even animation today is so reliant on a lot of these digital tools.
Yeah.
And AI is really a tool.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened, when motion pictures came out, they were like, oh, the photograph is dead. And when the photograph came out, they said, oh, painting is dead.
And even
all
with
of
film,
these media, right?
They wanted to use film.
Right.
Digital film existed.
Exactly.
And it did get like the quality caught up.
Yeah.
Actually.
And we still have film purists out there. Look at Nolan shooting like IMAX stuff that's just phenomenal, and pulling those massive cameras.
We need a few of those people.
So I know. I think like he had to build like a processing lab just for that. But it's a tool. I think, even now, some of the like Adobe plugins and stuff like that are AI and like neural kind of whatever they're calling them now. It's such LinkedIn buzzwordy kind of stuff of how they talk about it.
Has a thing.
Yeah.
Everything has a little overwhelming.
But it's making our workflows easier and faster, but the amount of work has not changed. So what I think is interesting
we can hopefully accomplish more, maybe?
Yes, but maybe not more, but maybe a little bit faster.
Which will give us more time for like work-life balance?
God, I would hope so.
You say this coming back from France.
I know. I was in Cannes, and then I was in Austin. I go to Providencetown Film Festival next weekend, and then we have 2 local festivals. We have Pegasus Film Festival and Oak Cliff coming up.
And the Pegasus Film Festival, that is for younger filmmakers?
Yeah, it's 19 and under, so it's really a youth-based film festival.
And I didn't research that one as much. I haven't really gone to that.
You should come.
I'd
Come
like
with
to.
me.
What do you have
I can't.
information?
I'm honestly, without looking at my calendar,
yeah,
I can't remember which weekend is
But I
which.
do
But
remember it's
they're coming up. It's this month.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I can't remember which one is Oak Cliff and which one is.
Well, Oak Cliff is the
Pegasus.
26th through 29th.
Okay, so it's before that.
Okay, so it's before then. So the Pegasus Film Festival is before then, and I'll throw information online for you guys to see it.
And they're incredible workforce development sponsors. So shouts out to them.
Yeah.
Snaps.
Two things while you're at that. Okay, you just reminded me. I have 2 sponsors I need to say hello to, and thank you so much because modern acupuncture is just helping me get through this post-surgery scar pain issue. Apparently, acupuncture can help with the blood flow, and I'm learning so much. It's really amazing, and they're a huge supporter of Gal on the Prowl. And then I just had a new one come on, Bear Creek Renting Company. Love them. They're actually out of Keller. They don't sell online. You have to go to their store.
Ooh.
But what I love about that too is like I've been an athlete my whole life. But even so, after spine surgery, and your watch will keep account of this. But like my asymmetry, my walk is off. My walk's off a certain percent because of how my leg got a little. What would you call it? I lost some of the muscle. It kind of.
Yeah, atrophied.
There we go. There's the word. So I still have a bit of my walk's not normal. So I love them because they also like do running clinics and stuff, so they can help assess individuals to help you get the exact right shoe and kind of help tweak things. So if you want an active lifestyle, it's definitely the place to go. In person, meet the owner Mark and his wife Betsy, and they're just amazing people. So I love them and wanted to shout out the sponsors when you said the word sponsor because it's in my mind to put it in there somewhere, and I wanted to get that there.
How much acupuncture have you done so far?
Not a lot.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I want to see how this works because scar tissue is a big issue, especially for spine surgery.
You should have them come in and do you on the podcast.
I could actually probably take video of it.
It's so fun. Okay, so when I tell you,
do your face.
I did it. I did it a few years ago. I loved it, and it fixed so many problems that I had that I just didn't. I was just astonished by it. And the best thing that my acupuncturist said to me, she was like, "It's not magic.
No,
it's medicine.
Medicine, yeah,
right." And she's like, "Don't like." Everyone just thinks it's like woo woo. She goes,
"That makes sense to me. There's nerve endings and things, and
thousands of years of traditional Chinese medicine and doing this and being able to work through people's ailments for better." I loved it. Best sleep of my life was on an acupuncture table.
Well, oh my gosh, agreed.
Best nap
That's
ever,
like 30
right?
minutes. In fact, I've always been like, you know what? If it didn't do a thing for me, that 30 minutes of the quiet and the darkness and whatever is happening, it's great actually.
It was like being in a medically induced coma. It was the most restful nap I've ever had in my entire life.
A very busy schedule like yours. Just work a few acupuncture appointments in there.
I mean, truly, if you need a good nap, I would say at the minimum that was worth it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
They ended up fixing all.
Helps.
I mean, she ended up fixing all these things that I didn't even realize.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So Pegasus Film Festival,
correct,
it's for the younger kids.
Yeah.
Well, adults.
And
kids, I suppose, so it makes me really old.
If I know, I feel old every time I meet a newer, younger.
The newer, younger version.
Yes.
The Youth Film Festival. Super excited about that.
Yes.
You're going to be on a panel.
I am moderating the Women in Film panel.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I don't know who I have yet.
Okay.
So I'm still working with the team, team over there.
I'm going to assume it's some of the women filmmakers who are there with their movies.
Correct.
Okay.
That's my assumption. That's right.
Guess. I'm guessing that too. So that one is for sure. I know the dates. October 26th. Sorry, we're not in October yet. Where are we?
Time traveled.
We just time traveled. That's like we're getting ahead of ourselves. Lone Star Film Festival's in the fall, guys. I mean, there's so much going on.
Yes.
Dallas and Fort Worth has it going. I'm really excited. There's a lot of stuff.
I think I did a quick hand count, and I think we had 12 festivals in the DFW area.
And Dallas International Film Festival is already taking
submissions for next year. I know. They never stop.
26.
Yeah.
There's always something.
And then, of course, we have some of our festivals or membership festivals like USA that their programming goes year round.
Yeah.
So
I need to rejoin that too. I forgot about it. It's like the USA Films or the Film Society or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Dallas Film Society.
Yeah. They run out of the Angelica, but and DIF is already doing open submissions.
I just saw it.
People don't realize, and then even with Oak Cliff,
how much is going on,
how much they do year round. If you're a theater goer or really a movie lover, there is something for you every month of the calendar year.
And what's really cool, so I love Oak Cliff. specifically because it is a lot of, it's got the indie vibe. You have the Diff, so that's international, so you have some pretty large productions come through here, but Oak Cliff curates a really special, like they've got their own feel. And I've been going to that one since at least 2018, because I remember 2018 had Meow Wolf, the documentary came through, and that was, I didn't know anything about that. It was so cool to learn. Reading Rainbow, or something about that guy who did the show way back. Everybody's all like, Reading Rainbow.
It's LeVar Burton?
It's like doc. Yeah, this was a few years ago. It's so good. It might have been Butterfly in the Sky. Might have been the title.
Oh, I vaguely recall that. I've never seen it.
Yeah, so I think it premiered at Oak Cliff.
Amazing.
It was really fun. So then you're in. Okay, so if you like film at all, why you should go to these festivals and why you should support them is you're in a theater, which you're a big fan of, and who shouldn't be? Like, everybody's in the same moment. You guys are all experiencing the same joy, sadness, whatever. You're on a journey emotionally together, and it's really cool to see as a community and like to experience as a community. Because I swear, at the end of that Butterfly or whatever it was called in the sky, we were all like singing the song together.
Oh, I love that. I just had like goosebumps.
It was so cute. So Oak Cliff coming up June. It's June, right? That we're in?
We're only in June.
We're in June. June 26th or 29th. They need volunteers, and I don't quite know how that works. If you volunteer, you might get to see a screening, but I'm a huge fan of volunteering. I used to volunteer for AFI Dallas before it was Diff. And met really cool filmmakers. That's another thing too. If you guys like film and you go to the festivals, a lot of times they have a director who hangs around to speak afterwards on like what, where the film came from, or like you were just in ATX. So in your experience with festivals, like, why would you tell people who maybe aren't even filmmakers, like just the average person, to go to a festival?
I've yet to meet somebody who's like, I don't like movies or I don't like TV.
I bet they exist.
I'm sure they do, but they probably live in
under a rock.
in the woods somewhere, and they're completely off the grid and unplugged. But haven't met them yet. Yep. But it's so great to find your water cooler community again around some of these really great stories. The film festivals are wonderful. The ones that are markets tend to be the ones that we go to because there's more networking opportunities there for people who are trying to not only sell their shows, but they're also currently working on what's next on their slate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So where a film commission can benefit from that is that we can get in front of them and be like, how can we help your creative by filming in Dallas?
Yeah.
Or larger for DFW and North Texas. Yeah. So I work really closely with Taylor Hardy, the Fort Worth Film Commission. We have all the film-friendly kind of liaisons that are in our area. We know that North Texas is #1 in the state. We're setting out to prove it this year by collecting some economic data.
By the way, ferocious feline power right there too. We got them two strong women leads in the area. Just gonna pounce on that potential. I'm just gonna throw some cat puns out there because I want to. Yeah, I'm just like, because you and Taylor, that's so cool. I mean, like,
and she's the best, and we work really well together because we understand that we share the same crew base, we share the same infrastructure,
and overlap a little because like Grapevine is Tarrant County, but it's also right near Dallas, and there's so many cool spots.
Absolutely. And like, we're not like the other cities in Texas. We're only 35 miles apart from each other, and we share that Venn diagram bubble where other cities are like 70 plus miles away. So like, in terms of when a production's going to land here, they have double the amount of resources, or like really truly just the massive metroplex and everything that we have to offer.
And then literally 2 film commissioners.
Right. Like, we just cover both sides, east and west of everything. But it's helpful to kind of know how do a deeper dive into those local resources, because there's so much in each of our given jurisdictions, but being able to like kind of benefit from the larger shows, especially the bigger tent poles, the footprints of them are just massive. And, sometimes they need a rural look or a stockyard type of look, or something that we just don't have downtown. Right. But like, the benefit of it is that they're still staying in the area. They're still eating at our restaurants, like
staying at the hotel.
Yeah. Like the Landman cast comes into Dallas all the time to shop and eat, and, they stay out. they stay out there and film
Yeah.
most of their stuff out, and they even go out like
I think
really
they're
rural.
Denton recently.
They've been up in Denton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's really about spreading the wealth. And we
Yes.
love that our
And
crew.
collaborating kind of, because like film's
Absolutely.
a collaborative endeavor, and then if everybody locally can work together, we could be the best.
Yeah. And our crew is benefiting from
It's
it.
collaboration and competition at the same time.
I don't think of it as competition.
No, but I mean competition against other film commissions.
Other states?
That's what I'm saying. Other states. So
Yeah.
it's the collaborative endeavors that Texas has, that the asset of doing that's what's going to win.
Exactly.
All of the funding, all of the films, all of the productions.
Yeah. So we're super hopeful. We have a whole bunch of things that we've been talking to, projects that we've been talking to since the passing of SB 22.
Yeah.
I say passing.
Yeah.
It's about to pass. It's going to get signed. We know it's going to happen. But
I'll put a disclaimer on this if it changes.
yeah. Shocker.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
That's not
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But just a massive amount of interest for Dallas and DFW just in general, and it's being driven by this incentive because we want to be a more affordable market.
Yeah.
There's no reason that you have to go film in expensive, cities.
Yeah.
You could be here in Texas and get more bang for your buck and get a lot more production quality on the screen.
Yeah.
Plus, we have like world-class crews here
Yeah.
we all know they've gone back all the way to like Walker, Texas Ranger and RoboCop in those days of like these, and Dallas, these big productions.
Yeah.
We have these really incredibly experienced crew members that have just been doing nothing but train up our workforce here for decades now. Yeah. But that's like a great thing. This is something I tell my crew members all the time. I'm like, if you're really good, you don't have to work in your market. You could go anywhere.
Yeah.
And when sometimes locations, they get upset when they bring in crew from out of town, but I'm like, those crew members earned their chops to travel with that showrunner because they proved their worth on another show.
Yeah.
And if you worked out a market, you're going to start getting pulled to other places too. And then it's always nice when you get to live and work at home and do local stories in local areas.
Yeah.
But like the majority of our shows are road shows where they have to cover a whole bunch of geographic looks, or it's something that they're doing massive units somewhere else because your favorite character has to do a trip somewhere. And honestly, sometimes it's just season 2 gets more money and they're like, why don't we write this one for, the beach? Because they want to go and film at the beach. Like it happened.
I want to go film at the beach. I do see Venice, California used a lot in the streaming. Like I'm always like, there's Venice. That's Abbott Kinney.
Well, so it's funny because I'm a New Yorker originally, and every time they say it's New York, I'm like, that's not New York, that's Toronto, or that's Vancouver. It's not. Well,
I wouldn't know. I'm from Fort Worth. So.
It's too clean. Every time I see New York on screen and it's too clean, I'm like, that's not really New York. New York has a grit to it that you cannot replicate. It has
unless AI can go in and
so back to AI, we've gone full circle now, but going back to AI, so like one of the things that we're seeing now is a lot of these post assets are now being done on volume walls.
Okay, yeah.
So these are these massive LED screens. We saw a lot of this during Mandalorian.
Don't we have one in Dallas?
We have
studios.
We have, we have 10.
Okay.
In the DFW area. So this is Southside Studios has theirs that just went up. Trilogy has 3. They're right in Fort Worth. AMS has one. We have... There's so many. I have an entire list of how many great studios have these walls. Camp Lucky.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget any of our amazing partners, but they're out there. And what they're mostly doing is short form content. But some of these bigger productions are coming in and using these volume walls to do one, it's like safer for like driving work and things like that. You don't have to close down a road. You don't have to do permitting. You don't have to have an actor driving a car, have a process trailer driver. Right. You can really do a lot of stuff in a closed set environment. That's really great. And you can change out the background, but those assets have to be they're either shooting plates ahead of time or it's an effects artist that is doing those assets for you for production now. So it's kind of like changing the pipeline a little bit of when you need those. But so that's been interesting. And a lot of them are using generative AI because you only need a blurry background. And I hate to say it because I've seen it done not just here, but in
Yeah.
other markets. You just need a blurry background of a road going behind you and the reflection happening, and you can get it like that. And some of these sites, you can even pay for stuff where artists are essentially using these AI tools to create this kind of asset to be used. So then there's bigger questions about, can you copyright something that a computer has done?
Oh my goodness. We'll find out, because
You can't.
it's
I
the
mean,
new
right
Wild
now,
West.
they're saying you cannot copyright generative AI because a person did not create
make it. But if you prompted it, there's the question.
So then it's about like, do you get to
coding.
copyright? Yeah, it's
kind
like
of
the
like
code,
coding.
the prompt.
Yeah.
But if it's pulling from somebody else's IP, like if you run a auteur, type director's work through there, everyone does Wes Anderson because he's so visually, recognizable. Like there's a lot of questions, and it's going to be a legal battle at the end of the day. And a lot of us just don't know what that's going to look like. Who's going to be the first to get flagged? Who's going to be too closely to a Disney style or something that they could effectively, bring you to task on. So
it's
that's
like,
the gray area.
Me of the streaming era, right? When everything went from kind of TV over to streaming, and all of those kind of like...
The disruption that's happened in our industry in the last decade is wild.
Yeah, I kind of love it though.
It's fun, but it's also like there's no certainty to anything.
But I kind of love that though, because I feel like that's life.
Yeah, I think there's some.
Let me rephrase it. I've leaned into it because that's life.
It is life. I think there's some people that are very concerned about their jobs and their livelihoods, and whether or not they'd be needed anymore.
Yeah.
With automation, there's always reduction in workforce, but there's never a reduction in the work.
Yeah.
So it's just, we're going to have to figure out a new way for all of these people to be able to plug into this creative field in a different way. We don't know what that looks like. Honestly, when all of the AI conversation happened, we were certain that it was going to be more Avatar-esque, plug and play. Like, you get to decide where your face goes in your favorite movie. So like if you were watching Lord of the Rings and you wanted to be Galadriel, all of a sudden you could have a 3D scan of your face that we're now mapping on Cate Blanchett, and now you get to play the role and watch yourself in that. That's where it was more gamified, and I thought that was really where it was going to be going. And instead, we're in this like legal battle of just like, can we just create shows cheaper? Like the new Google demo that came out. It was scary because I'm like, oh, unscripted's dead. We're done for. You don't need to ply contestants with alcohol and hope for drama and stir up,
I know what you're saying, but I have an idea for something that I think will still be fun.
Are you pitching it to me right now?
I am pitching it to you. You're the first to hear it.
Elevator pitch me.
I'm envisioning, kids in the like 18 to 20-ish range, on like a campsite with like lodging. Nothing scary. I know your mind's like dark, portal to hell. No. But and then have them live like it's the 90s and like not have cell phones, and that would actually be kind of fun. It'd be almost like a case study.
I was just out of school and said this to a professor. I was like, you have to restrict them about cell phones.
No cell phones allowed, because it'd be a reality show. So like they're sign the waivers, they're stuck. So they only have pens and paper to use to meet up with each. I don't know. In my head, I'd watch it. I would love, because
do they even know how to pass notes anymore?
I don't think so, but that's why I would like to watch it, because I lived through that era. So I kind of selfishly want to watch people have to suffer who don't know what it was like.
We did it and we didn't suffer. It was like
great.
There was an art form to it.
I still don't know how I got places though. I mean, I'd go road trip across America with like a MapQuest printout and be like, oh no, I got off on
just hope for the best.
MLK. I don't know which city I'm in. Wait.
Oh, we've had to have quarters on you for a payphone to call.
But see how fun would it be to watch like young people who've never done that have to do that, and then the winners, I don't know, I don't have the whole show yet, so
do you ever see the ones that they do on YouTube where they have young kids and they're looking at like rotophones and stuff, and they're asking them what it is but how to use it, and like, because young kids don't even do this for hang up, because there's no receiver. Yeah, that's a hang up or put the phone down. I don't know, because like even like our gestures are for roll down the window versus roll down the window. Like
I don't even know what this means though.
I know it doesn't have the same effect as you turning down that window. So language changes, language evolves, the rhetorics of of just social everything from social media wasn't a thing when we were kids.
I know.
Like it's completely changed everything.
Yeah.
So
how fun would that be? I don't know. I'd love to see them learn to have to think, to get to think. Let me just say that, to get to think more creatively and not just default to like the easy thing. Like when you go to restaurants nowadays, you just get on your phone and just start scrolling because it's awkward and you're in line.
code.
Yeah. And I mean,
though I do like a place that lets you just order and and they just bring you the food, and it's not that I don't like human interaction.
I hate humans.
Because I'm a chatty person.
Oh,
so it minimizes the fact that
opportunity.
Because
you've got time.
Yeah, because especially if I'm like efficiency. I have a meeting and I have to it's efficient and I'm just like just bring me food. Great. I can just get to where I need to be, you know.
I love that. No, I really do love that. I actually I'm going to wrap in a minute because I love that we could talk for hours. I have a masseuse and I never enjoyed having massages because I'm chatty. I don't know how to be that close to a human and not
talk through it.
Chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've never really enjoyed massages, but I'm trying to learn how to be silent. I don't know. I still haven't gotten very far on that, but I'll let you guys know if I figure it out. In the meantime, I'm going to talk even more.
This is why going to theaters is great because you do
have to be silent.
You have to be silent. You have to be present. You have to put your phone away. But also, there's something to be said about being in a reactive theater because I have absolutely watched things in a theater and then watched it again at home by myself or with somebody else who wasn't in the theater experience. And they're like, this is a depressing movie. And I'm just like, it was hilarious in the theater because everyone was laughing at it.
The awkward moments.
The awkward moments all of a sudden became awkward comedy and awkward situational, moments for us to react to. But without the context of somebody else giggling or prompting you to find humor in it, then all of a sudden you're at home and you're like, God, what a depressing movie.
And then you're on your phone.
Right.
With it on.
I'll tell you the example of that was Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay.
Saw it in the theaters. Everyone was like, this is hilarious. It's so funny. Even though it's super dark.
Yeah.
Loved it. My mom watched it at home by herself and she was like, that was the most depressing movie. And I was like, watch it again, but like with the vibe of people, like how you would find that to be enjoyable.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So people want to find you. Okay, one more thing too. So for filmmakers that are local, you're trying to get the site ramped back up, get everybody's information correct on there. What do you ask of people who want to be in the industry right now? How can they participate?
Thank you for asking this. So our website's about to go through a massive overhaul.
Okay.
There's only 2 people in my department. Me and Austin run the film office. So we are going to do a massive deep dive in our website, kind of update some of the language, and really be more of a resource for our local filmmakers. If there's something that you think needs to be, and not now, but eventually that you think needs to be added, we'll be delighted to add that to.
You're like, don't start calling as soon as you say.
No, yeah, we haven't done it yet, but once we kind of roll it out, if there's something,
to your calendar months from now,
there's something that we need to like kind of like look into and what people really want that resource for. We'll try to find a way to make it available to local filmmakers, and obviously it's going to be a tool for incoming filmmakers that are bringing projects in. So it's trying to make it easier for productions to find local
like a
crew.
Connection. You're like the connection.
Yes, I want them to hire local, find our local vendors. So another thing is making sure that our database is up to date. So if you have your resume on our database, please go. It's your own login. You could check it at any time. Go make sure it's your most recent resume.
I don't
your
think
credits are up to date.
Mine's like from 5 years ago.
Man, get on there. You got to. Because like honestly, we can't recommend any one person over another. So we rely on this list that is basically crowd sourced.
So let me go to Chat GPT and have it revamp things for me and put in the best version of myself.
Put your best version forward, and then we approve it. We approve every single one. So because unfortunately these kind of things get hit by bots on the back end. So we physically look at it, we approve it. So be a little patient with us. But once it's live, that link is what we use to give to studios when they come in and ask for, hey, how many greensmen do you have? How many cameramen do you have? How many hair and makeup stylists? How many, wardrobe trailers do you have? Absolutely. And we send them that list. And so if you're not on there, you're not going to get seen.
So you need to get on there. That's what I'm hearing you say. Okay. So people do that if you're a filmmaker, want to be involved. if you're just someone who wants to know more or say hi to Katie, what do you have social platforms that you prefer?
Honestly, you can see me at any film event.
You are everywhere. I have seen that to be true.
So I hope I run into you all at the next DPA meeting or Women in Film meeting or, one of the film festivals. We have so many amazing, just incredible film-centric events that happen in DFW. And it's exhausting going to all of them, but it's also incredible because this is the most amazing film community here.
It really is.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'm part of it, so I'm going to go ahead and say
you should.
It really is.
Yeah. It's great. And I've never
pretty awesome over here.
I've felt so welcomed here from day one. And it's just so impressive what everyone is working on, what they're doing, the volume of
people
who
want
stuff.
Yeah.
We're a commercial market. Like everybody's bread and butter is in the commercial world right now. The rates are better, so I get it. But we're going to try to bring in some long form feature series. And I'm hoping that SB22 is going to be the little push in the right direction.
The nudge.
To get us there.
I like it.
Yeah, we're really excited.
So it's a revolution and you're leading it is what I'm hearing you say.
I mean, I can't go that far to take that much credit, but I'm happy to be a part of it.
You can take a lot of credit though. You can take, but she's pretty amazing. So Dallas Film Commission is like on Instagram if people want to follow.
If you just look up Dallas Film Commission, our new tagline is Film Dallas. So you can pretty much find that every hashtag.
Clarity.
Yep.
Right there.
We're popping that hashtag all over everything. It's easy. It's a call to action.
I like it.
We want you to film Dallas.
Love it.
So
simple. I can remember that. Okay.
It's easy. I know. I'm going to start putting it on hats and stuff.
For people who want to go to festivals, you can find their information on usually your stories or there's something.
Yeah.
You guys usually share stuff. I see a lot of shares and things.
Yeah. I have to give a lot, all the credit to Austin, who is constantly monitoring our socials and literally following and collaborating with all of our groups. And
because you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, if you have anybody out there has things that they want to share or amplify that's open to the public that you want us to put on our socials or put in our newsletter,
just tag you guys.
Just tag us or hit us up or email it to us because we will put it in the next newsletter. Like we want people to know how many great things are happening here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Do you have a gift real quick? Actually, I don't know if we can reach over. Let's see. These microphones are kind of in the way. So it's my gal on the prowl, but it's got my little modern acupunctures. They're just I'm such a fan of
the logo on the front
of the acupunctures. Look at that.
I am.
Oh, they're an alliance.
Get punctured.
So, get punctured. I think the thing is like let's tingle or something. It's really cute.
I love it. One time she stuck something on me and then lit it on fire, and I was like, "What is this?" But then I also felt really great afterwards.
I want video of that.
Man, ask her. See if you need it because your chi might not need it or something. I don't know.
Then I'm getting video for sure. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on Gal on the Prowl.
Thank you.
A lot of stuff's coming our way in Texas, guys. I'm Jessica Spahn. Stay encouraged, stay hopeful, and stay classy. Meow.